Okay, good afternoon again, everybody. Welcome to this afternoon's webinar. My name is Susan Harden with AGS. I'll leave my webcam on, and this session is being recorded. Just a little bit of housekeeping. So the recordings will be emailed to everybody after the session, so you'll have this available to review or share with your colleagues as you wish. And another couple of housekeeping things. The chat feature is being monitored, so if you have questions, feel free to chat those questions in, or you can unmute yourself. It's a small group today. We do these things very frequently, so we have a fairly small crowd. Feel free to unmute yourself to ask a question if you'd like. And then last but not least, in the materials section of the Go to Training control panel is the handout for today. That will also be emailed to you automatically after today's session, but if you want to have that now, feel free to download that. It's just a PDF. This is going to be a real quick fire session today. I like to keep these meetings, brief, high level, not drag you through all the fields and everything on these kinds of things. So there's a bunch of slides here. We're going to kind of breeze through the slides fairly quickly. Again, nice resource for you to have after the session. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. Again, I'm Susan Harden with AGS, and we're going to go ahead and dive into the Career Dislocated Worker Pre-Built solution here from AGS Prime. So our agenda comes right out of the email invite. No surprises, no smoke and mirrors. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about who we are, a high-level description of what AGS Prime is as a platform. And then I'll do a show and tell, a walkthrough, a jog through, maybe you might say, about what is the AGS Prime Career Dislocated Worker Grant template look like from a data input side and from an output from the reporting side, so you can get a feel for what that looks like. That's going to be the demo. Then we're going to come right back to slides, do just a quick couple of recaps, next steps, and then you're out. So we're going to do this very, very quickly in about 30 to 35 minutes. So if this is what you thought you were going to do today, you are in the right place. So let's go ahead and get started then. Here we go. So a little bit about us, AGS. AGS is an acronym, stands for American Government Services. That's too much of a mouthful, so we just say AGS. AGS Prime is the name of the commercial product that we sell as a subscription service. So we're in business 23 plus years. We are not new to the workforce table, to the employment and training table. We've been doing this for a very long time, supporting WIA, supporting WIOA, supporting TACT grants, a wide variety of H-1B grants, Tech Hire, Strengthening Working Families initiatives, America's Promise Grant, scaling apprenticeships, closing the skills gap, One Workforce, rural health care, and now Dislocated Worker Grant, the Career Dislocated Worker Grant, specifically as part of the apprenticeship and WIPS compliant series of templates that we offer to our customers. Major differentiator that we bring to the table, we think is super important, is personalized training, access to ongoing, unlimited, and unmetered administrative technical support. We buy software too, and we know how important support is for these kinds of projects. So we provide that for you. We are very much H-1B and WIPS subject matter experts. We've been doing this for scores and scores and scores of grants over the last 8 or more years, keeping our applications, our templates up to date with federal changes. So we all know how much fun that is, right? So that's one of the major benefits that we bring to our customers is once you subscribe to one of our pre-built templates, we continue to review changes from the federal, from DOL ETA, from the feds, regarding changes for the grant business rules, validations, data requirements, and WIPS reporting requirements. So all of our customers have that headache taken off your table. And so when the feds say we're now going to convert everybody to Pearl 2021, you don't have to worry about that. Education is good, but we take care of all of those changes for you. So that's just a little bit about the About Us section, if you will. So a little bit about Prime, as just a quick introduction to Prime. Prime is a no-code, web-based, of course, platform as a service, or a PaaS. We've probably all heard the term SaaS or a SaaS. That's like so last century. That's a software as a service. We are a platform as a service. And it is indeed a no-code platform. You do not need to have any application development experience in order to build out your own applications, should you want to, using the Prime platform. Our templates are configured or built, as the slide says, built based on our own platform. So there is no proprietary code built into these templates either. So everything is a no-code environment, and we'll train you how to do that. So that's part of what you get with your subscription. The Prime platform is a perfect environment for building out applications for grants tracking, grants management, CRM applications, service applications, just really whatever it is you think you might need to be tracking. We see lots of our customers replacing, all kinds of spreadsheets with a more secure and centralized web-based tool that's now under your control. So a little bit about Prime. So pre-built applications, I've mentioned a few of those that we already provide. Benefits, fast track to grant management, because these are pre-built templates that are based on the pearls for each of these grants, and is based on the WIPS reporting requirements and the business rules. Our customers can really sign up for, if you will, one of these templates. So it's really, they're really ready to go is the point. We keep everything up to date with WIPS, as I've said. They're immediately deployable, and we, for all of these grants, host monthly grant-specific user group webinars. So in addition to keeping everything up to date for you, we host free monthly webinars where our customers come together in each of those grant areas and hear about new updates, talk about federal changes that we've made to your applications, where everybody knows what's been done. And it is a great community environment for people to come together and ask each other, policy questions or business process questions outside of, being in an office hours session with the feds or with your FPOs. It's a really nice environment for everybody to kind of come together and share and learn from each other. Of course, the applications include WIPS reporting. You can click the magic button and I'll show you exactly what that looks like from one of our templates, as well as performance outcome measures. So pull out your appendix, document your goals, and Prime will be able to report your actuals compared to your projection. And of course, built-in data visualizations and dashboards and queries, all of that's built into the application. And because it comes with the platform, you have the ability to create your own queries and create your own reports and data visualizations beyond the canned reports and queries that we give you. So you have lots and lots and lots of flexibility. Again, don't need to be a computer programmer. That's kind of the beauty of it. So let's dive into our live demonstration. I've talked enough about slides. Let's get into the application. Let me just switch gears here real quick and jump over here. Okay, so here's my template for my AGS Prime Career Dislocated Worker Grant tracking system. This is what it looks like. Of course, you're going to have your own logo here, not the big AGS Prime logo, but this is what the framework, the architecture looks like. So across the top, we have our menu. We call these modules. Our home menu, or home module rather, gives us the ability to document resources. You can put in your own resources here in the resources catalog. In my template, I don't have any. We see this being used very frequently for our customers to put in their own MOUs, their own business process diagrams, definitions of what is a measurable skills gain based on your grants definition, those kinds of documents that you want to have made available to your data entry staff. So that's what the resource catalog is for. Participant management, just what it sounds like. This is where all of your participants are going to reside. Their data is going to reside. So as a staff person, I'm looking at this and I can see that in my Career Dislocated Worker Grant application, I have 2 participants in my system, Buddy Holly and Susie Smith. And we see just a little bit of information about them. We'll come back to this in a moment. I also have an integrated, built-in employer management CRM. So you can also have in this application the ability to track your employers, demographics about your employers, your contacts, activities with the employers, and any other kind of outcomes like placements that you might want to keep track on behalf of your employers. You can also use this to keep track of leveraged resources from your employers, should you want to keep track of that all in one application versus having a separate spreadsheet, for example. We see that very frequently. And then of course our admin module, where all of the configuration control is going to take place, that we train you how to configure a variety of different catalogs that are specific to your grant. And then of course reports. So this is really, really key to everything about Prime for these kinds of grants. Here's the famous WIP CSV file, your performance outcome measures. We even give you a QPR that is a heads up for what you'll get back from the feds once you submit your WIPS file. The WIPS file is validated. They'll send you back the QPR based on your validated WIPS file. And we give you the ability to run your own QPR in advance of what you get back from the feds so that there are no surprises, right? Rule 1 for good project management: eliminate surprises. So we always want to make it easy for you to be in control of your data. It's your data. It's your goals, it's your outcomes. We want to put in your hands the ability to see where you are compared to where you think you are, compared to where you are supposed to be at any given point in time, right? So these reports are super important. And of course, queries, dozens of queries, are part of this application, right out of the box, including the Mathematica analytics that are now being required from all of these H-1B or these DOL grants. So let me just dive over here really quickly and give you a quick look at what this looks like on the data input side. So I'm going to open up Susie Smith's case folder. And so this is synonymous with me in my electronic file cabinet, right? I've opened up her case folder of me getting up out of my chair, walking over to the file cabinet, opening up the S drawer and pulling out the manila file folder for Smith, Susie, right? And going back to my desk and opening it up. And in her case folder, I see paper clipped categories of documents, participant profile, grant enrollment, training program enrollment, her individual trainings, credentials, documenting her measurable skills gains, all of the services we provide for her. So imagine these are all pieces of paper that are now electronically organized in this electronic case folder. Employment documentation, case notes, and participant attachments. So you can have as many attachments as you need for your project electronically stored within this participants case folder. Heavily utilized portion of Prime for all of these grants is being able to keep track of attachments, photo IDs, transcripts, resumes, if you need wet signatures for certain releases versus the electronic signatures that most of our customers use, all of those attachments can be part of a person's electronic case folder. So I opened up her case folders to give you a quick sense of what the forms look like, so you can get a sense of the intuitiveness and the ease of data entry. I just want to give you a quick glance at that. So all of the data entry starts with the profile. We have to know who this customer is, what do they look like, so to speak, and which staff organization are they assigned to, right? So we can have lots of different staff organizations. We work with national consortiums for some of these other apprentice projects that have data entry staff organizations all over the country, but they're all putting data into a centralized case management system, right? And so this application needs to know which organization this participant belongs to, so that organization level security, as you're taking notes, organization level security can be supported so that staff users from organization 1 only ever see data from staff organization 1. And staff organization 2, for example, those staff people will only ever see data, participants, that is to say, PII, from staff organization 2. And 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. As a local administrator, as I have logged in where I see the admin module and I can see all staff, local administrators always see all of the data all the time. We can't be locked out, so that we have complete data oversight for both reporting, not only for feds, for WIPs, but for your own projects analytics, but each of your organizations, your partners who are having staff who put data into the system can only ever see their organization's data sets, okay? So we need to know staff organization. And then some key information. This should all look very familiar to you. These are the fields that come directly from the Pearl. We even include the help text that comes directly from the accountability exit status, for example. Exactly the help text that comes directly from the Pearl. Disability information comes directly from the Pearl with the only allowed values, and again, the help text. So we provide this initial entry, right? And then if I click on participant case folder, we're going to keep track of their grant enrollment. So first we document who they are, and then we document which, the program we're going to enroll them in. Simple little form just documents their program, the funding source, the date of program entry. As a living, breathing document, we're going to come back to this record when they exit to document their date of program exit. But you can see this gives you the post-exit follow-up information all on this one, really simple grant tracking form. You're going to document their trainings, their training program enrollment. Again, data that comes directly from the Pearl for the Dislocated Worker Grant, pre-built, the only allowed values, the help text that comes directly from the Pearl, already set up here for you. You don't have to worry about anything as regards being compliant with this data. And you can see if I don't have something filled out, X out this field, you can see all of the required fields have asterisks, and if it's not filled out yet, it has a little pink box. And the save button is not live. So built-in field and form business rules also are built in to drive accurate data entry so that your staff, I mean, remember, you may have people all over the country doing data entry or whatever the case might be. They don't have to have those business rules memorized. They don't have to have the 200 or 300 fields memorized. We're going to walk you through that process. Once I select something for this field, I've satisfied all the fields on the form, and my save button is live, right? So just the kind of built-in documentation. We're going to take a look at measurable skills gains, document our measurable skills gains, the only allowable values. We can document employment. Again, the allowable values here. We give you some additional fields if you want to track some interim or final wage separate from the follow-up. This is here for you for your own internal analytics. So I just kind of want to show you, a little bit about what this looks like. Then we're going to keep track of the individual training. So we've enrolled them in a training program, and now let's document each of those trainings. And those trainings need to be documented as one of these values, whether it's virtual, online, a mix of virtual and in person or in person only. We're going to document the type of training, right? And once again, business rules on these fields of my values. My fields aren't filled out. We're not going to let you successfully save the form if the required fields are not filled in and not filled in satisfactorily per business logic. You have an ONET code catalog that you can fill in, so your staff never have to type ONET codes again. You're just going to pick from a list that are specific to your grant, that you decide are specific to your project when you're doing that initial admin setup. So that's just a little kind of a quick look at the data entry on the participant side, the employer side, this integrated CRM. Once again, keeping track of the employer demographics, very high level stuff. Employer contacts, very high level stuff. It gives you lots and lots and lots of flexibility. You can keep track of employer activities, very sales process oriented approach to keeping track of employer outreach. You can have employer attachments, just like you can on the participant side, and you can create employment opportunities or job openings. Then you can track those job openings and make placements at the click of a button right to the participant pool. So you have that interaction between both sides of your project, the participants and the employers. At the click of a button, you have that information available to you. I look at the case folder here for this employer, and I can see they've already hired Susie Smith for a data analyst position. They still have another open employment opportunity for another data analyst, the wage, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see what type of a CRM for employer outreach is built right into the application. Heavily used aspect of the application itself. Under the admin module, just kind of briefly showing you a little bit under the hood here. So everything we see under the create new and view gives you the ability to manage your own catalogs specific to your grant. So I know there's a three different grant recipients on the call today. Each of your demographics and the grants, the proposals that you wrote have differences. So we give you the ability to manage your own ONET catalog to create your own nets and have as many of these here as are specific to, the occupations or occupation sets that are part of your grant. Your zip code catalog, again, very simple, gives you the ability to manage those zip codes so your staff never have to do data entry. They don't have to have a little sticky sheet next to their computer with all those codes to keep looking up. That's all gone. We're not doing that anymore. NAICS catalog, again, you can enter as many as you want for the catalog. We're going to give you this training provider catalog. It's a key aspect of this grant. So you're going to be able to keep track of your training providers. So you have this as a catalog so your staff can click the button and select that as it fills the fields for your reporting purposes. Resources and services. Again, the services in this grant are rather extensive. So we've pre-filled the services here, and we've put in the Pearl data element number that each one of these services relates to. Because the services and the services tracking and the services reporting for this dislocated worker grant is rather extensive, we thought it would be very helpful for you as grant administrators to know which Pearl data element number is getting reported on. You can still add to this list as you see fit. We just preload it for you based on the core values coming from the Pearl. Okay. So I want to jump away from the application, the input side, if you will. I'm going to jump over to a different site that has a little bit more data in it. Not much, but I'm going to check over here and run a couple of reports. So I want to run the WIPS file first. So I'm just going to run this. I'm going to pick one workforce again out of this is just a demo system. So I just have a little bit more data over here. I'm going to select Q3 just for the fun of it. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to include the headers only so you can see the exemplar of the headers for the Pearl. I'm going to say, yes, ignore the error file. We do have a built-in final data validation check just to make sure that before you submit your WIPS file from here, the CSV file, and toggle over to WIPS site and upload it, we give you one final data validation report, error checking report, just to make sure there's nothing hinky that happened. Sometimes somebody will put in a date, the year that is technically a valid year, but it is unrecognizable by what WIPS would recognize. So some things we just can't catch because it's an actual valid year, like 2030 or something crazy like that, or 3120 is an actual valid year, although it's quite a ways into the future. So anyway, so we give you another error checking report to check one more time. So I'm going to say yes, ignore the error file because I know I have an error here. I just want to, for purposes of demo, I'm just going to skip that for now. I'm going to go ahead and run this report. And I have my data. I don't have a lot of data in my report, but I just want to show you, I'll make this a little bit bigger. And I have my headers, which I know when you submit this to the feds for real, you would not include the header. But I just want you to see we have our unique identifier, the resident state, the special product ID, and all of the fields for, way all the way over here, for our WIPS file. We also produce a real-time performance outcome measures report. Again, I'll just play with my one workforce for the fun of it. I'll pick the same 2022 Q3 and just run this report, give you a sense of what this begins to look like if you are running any performance outcome measures, and lets you kind of see what this looks like. Just keeping track of the goals, and most importantly, the projected, the actuals, and the percent to goal. We also include, I just want to share with you one last thing, and this is the Codebook. So we have our Codebook here that gives you the ability to run the analytics that are in place behind the scenes for all of these reports. So in particular, we want to see what's going on with Pearl Data Element 900, for example. So we'll take the information directly out of the Pearl, that very big spreadsheet, digest it in a more human readable fashion for you, and then compare that to Prime. So where does this field, Data Element 900, reside in Prime? It resides on the program form. Here's the Prime field. Here's the WHIPS field. And here's the error checking and the logic. So we give you all of our logic. So everything is completely transparent as to how we are handling things. If you wanted to see how, if we're looking for anything with the letters incumbent, right, you can do a quick search by letters. We can look for everybody's favorite field, 1813, and just get the details of how we're handling everything in the reports in the application. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. And in the final couple of minutes, I'm going to leave the application and I'm going to jump back to my slides for a quick wrap up. So implementation, what does that look like? Everybody wants to know, oh my God, you know, how long is this going to take? Great question. So it's really simple. All of our customers have their own dedicated domain, your own dedicated IP address. So the first thing we need is your domain name, you know, AGS Prime or ags.agsprime.net or susan.agsprime.net, or you know, you name your organization.agsprime.net or whatever you want that to be. Then we'll go ahead and set up your domain. All of our customers are hosted, by the way, in Amazon Web Services or AWS. So you receive all of the benefits, security benefits that come with AWS as an AWS hosted solution. And all of our customers' data stays within the United States. There is no OUS or outside of US data movement. Okay, so that's just part of the security protocols that are in place by subscribing to Prime. Those are some of the aspects of our contract with AWS. Then we schedule your application admin training. I do all of the admin training, so you're stuck with me, and I will take you through what does it mean to be an application, you know, a DWG application administrator, the application we just went through. How do you add new organizations? How do you add new users? How do you modify those and manage all those catalogs that are needed for data entry? What is the data entry process? I will share with you all of the requirements for it, not only administrating the application, but guides on data entry best practices and help you with that as you turn around and end up training your end users. And once we've gone through your admin training, which is typically two-hour administrator training sessions, spread out over the course of a week, usually, give you some time to do your homework, which I will assign, and for you to do your other jobs. Then we'll come back and review your homework, review questions. And if we need to do that a couple of more times, that's fine. Typically it's two-hour sessions, and then you're ready to go live. So it can be done very, very quickly. If schedules get crazy and you end up getting really swamped with other projects, as I see happen with some of our customers, it can become a little bit of a longer ramp. But the point is, it's completely up to you how quickly you can focus on getting this done, and we'll get you scheduled and get you going live. You're done. You're ready to go live. That's all there is to it. So with all of that said, whoo, that was a real run through. For those of you who may have come in late, the handout is there available to you as in the Go to Training Control panel. That's going to be emailed to you again afterwards if you didn't get a chance to grab it now. And there's also just a quick poll, an evaluation, honestly, of how this session was for you today. I think it just has like maybe 4 quick questions. If you wouldn't mind filling that out, that will also pop up at the end of this. I'd love your feedback to make sure that I'm either doing it right or things I need to do better. Maybe these need to be longer, maybe they need to be shorter, you know, whatever you say, just tell me what you think. If you need to, you know, think about this, get back with me. There's lots of different ways to contact me. Go to our website, agsprime.com. There's tons of handouts and videos there, all free. You don't need to, you know, give us your information, just access it if you want to. That will give you more and more information about who we are and some of our other projects. And let me know if you liked what you see and you want to get back together and do some one-on-ones or go a little slower, or have other questions that might come up, or have others of your team members join, you know, whatever it might be. Please just let me know. And in the meantime, thank you very much for your time today. I know everybody is super busy, and I really appreciate your time. I appreciate your interest. Congratulations on your grant projects. You're all successful grant writing organizations, and everybody really appreciates all the work you guys do, us especially. So thanks very much, and I will let you go. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.